Hey guys, it's your girl Bianca B, and so today I wanted to share some of my crazy interview stories. I've interviewed a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, and so I want to share to y'all some of the most embarrassing moments that I've had on set, crazy moments on red carpet. So if you guys want to find out more, please continue watching. Alright, so I've interviewed a lot of people, and I've had a lot of people on my show. I had a lot of people on set, and I've had some crazy moments. So I'm going to start out with one popular interview I did. It was with Kel Mitchell from Kenan and Kel, all of that. I said it again. That's what I messed up. I kept saying all of that instead of all that.
You're a child mogul, you know, everybody knows you from Nickelodeon's Kenan and Kel, all of that.
Whole entire interview, and I was so mad because my crew and the people that was in the audience, none of them corrected me. It was so funny. And then when I looked at the edit with the editor, because it was for my senior project and my thesis for college, and I just messed up. I kept saying all of that instead of all that. And it's crazy because I watched that show growing up and I was so mad at myself. I was like, how did you mess that up? Simple, all that instead of all of that. So that was a funny moment, and I just look back at the interview and I just be like, Bianca, why did you say all of that? So yeah, it's right here. Y'all can check it out. That interview was crazy. The second time I had a very crazy moment was when I interviewed Munday. We were at the Wiz Khalifa and Ty Dolla $ign show at Belasco Theater, and I was just listening to Ty Dolla mixtape that whole summer, and so I never knew Munday was on there. So when it was time to interview him, I had heard of him, but I never visually knew how he looked. So when it was time for the interview, I was just like, oh, have you heard Ty Dolla $ign's new mixtape? And he was just like, yeah, I was actually on it. I never put that interview up because I just doomed and I messed up because I really did not know who he was. And I always tell people, when you go to press events and red carpets, a lot of the times you won't know who all the people are on the red carpet, and it's not your fault. It's just something you didn't study, or some people aren't as big as others. So if you don't know what somebody does, you can always, before the interview, say, hi, I'm Bianca B. You can ask their publicist, like, what are they working on, or things like that. And my intro question to always interviewing people is, what latest projects are you working on right now? You can always start with that question because you can actually structure the interview after that. So most artists or most actors will always say, well, I'm working on the latest film, or this latest pilot. I'm working on my new EP. Then you can structure on what the person that you're interviewing does or do, you know. So I've always learned that if you don't know who somebody is, either ask their publicist or structure the interview by simply asking that question. Another bad interview. I've always pretty much had good interviews. I haven't really had like terrible ones. But it was one time we were on set and I had to interview 4 people in one day. So we booked the studio for 5 hours. The whole entire time the lights kept flickering on and off. And I felt so bad because I did not want to release those interviews, and I didn't, because it was just, the lights were horrible. The lighting was horrible, and it was not our fault. It was the studio's, because it was like, why isn't the light and the power working? And I just felt so bad, and so I never put the interviews out. I'm sorry, y'all. And every time I see them or see their Instagram post, I be like, I feel so bad because I never put out the interview. And just know that when you do red carpets or when you're interviewing different people for a show or whatever you have, everything doesn't need to be put out. It's just that simple. Like, I deleted all my season 1 through 3 episodes. They're not public on YouTube because I've grown and developed since then, and I don't want people, if they Google my name, those things pop up, because you just don't want to be affiliated with your old work. I mean, yeah, you can see the growth, but That was something I learned from my teachers. Just like you grow and you develop, and sometimes you just gotta block stuff or like put stuff private on YouTube because you just don't want people to see, you know, that portion of your life. Yeah, there's been times where I've really like fucked up, and it's okay. When it comes to interviewing people, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have great days, but it's all about learning and it's all about growing. And sometimes audio will delete. Sometimes, I remember I interviewed Vivica A. Fox. The reason why there was no interview because the audio did not record. So it's gonna be situations like that, and you just have to deal with it. But I've learned as long as you get a picture and evidence that you were there and you met that person, that's all that matters. So yeah, so my biggest advice to people who interview people is just be yourself. Don't be someone you're not, and do your research. Do your research and have good people around you that will help you with your errors. And yeah, it's okay, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna have off days. Some people interview better than others, and that's just what it is, and that's why you have to grow and why you have to develop, and you also have to network, communicate with people, and connect with people so you get other opportunities to interview them again. So it's your girl Bianca B. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at it's Bianca B. Don't forget to apply, plan, and slay. Bye guys.